Montezinos.
Yeah, try Montezinos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is it, 365.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, that's it. See, there it is right here. Read, blessed be the name of the Lord who has not made me an idolater. Read. Matter of fact, go right here with Montezito's story. What started waving a banner? Let's get straight there. Waving a banner.
It says, waving a banner high in the air.
Waving a banner high in the air.
The Indian guide was soon greeted by a puff of smoke far beyond the other bank of the river.
Read.
In response to his signal, the two men waited. Eventually, a canoe appeared.
A canoe appeared. They was using smoke signal. Read.
Bearing 3 men and a woman.
3 men and a woman.
All of them Indians.
All of them Indians. Let's see if they were from the tribe of, let's see if they were Chinese. Read.
To the place where Francisco and Montezinos were standing at the water's edge.
So Francisco and Montezinos, 2 travelers, were standing on the edge, and they met these Indians that were in the New World. Read.
The woman got off and spoke to Francisco
and said what?
In an Indian tongue.
In an Indian tongue.
That Montezinos could not understand.
Why they could not understand it? Because she was speaking in an ancient Phoenician tongue, not the Yiddish of the Jewish people. Read.
Although he could perceive that he was being identified in the conversation.
Read.
She then turned to her male companions to explain the situation. Upon hearing her words, they rose.
Read.
Went over to Montezinos and to his utter astonishment said, Shema Yasha'Allah Allahaya, or I'll just read it how they got it. Shema Yisrael Adonai Allahenu Adonai Achad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one.
Now, what was this Japhetic Indian doing in America speaking Hebrew? If she was Japhetic Indian or from the Bering Strait. See, they used the Bering Strait story to cover the fact that the children of Israel fulfilled the prophecy in going over the waters. How do we know this? The landmass of Ararat and other areas in the old world don't take 1.5 years by water to get there. See? Why would it take 1.5 years for them to go into lands that were already recognized in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter? We already knew about the lands of Japheth, the land of Ham, the land of Shem. So what lands was it talking about in 2nd Ezra 13? The land where no mankind dwelt, on the other side of the waters. See? And there's history all through here. Let's get Christopher Columbus Dialis. Christopher Columbus Dialis, which are in this book, his personal memoirs. They claim Christopher Columbus was traveling to America because, or just got close there because he was trying to prove the world was round. You believe that story? What was he really looking for? Let's see. Columbus. Christopher Columbus, right here. Let's get it. It's talking about the people in Mexico and all that from the tribes in this book. A matter of fact, a Jewish guy did the research and went through burial grounds and all that and found Hebrew. Get the book. Archaeological proof. Written proof from back times, from late times. From the early times. Let me get it real quick, one moment here. Right here. It goes also into the slaves of Cuba, right? One moment. Let me get the dialects. Let me get straight there. I don't want to get sidetracked here. Stick with me here, brothers and sisters. Hold up. Before you go there. Hold up. There's something I missed there. Before I get his DLEs. Let's go back to 365 real quick. Something I missed. 365. One moment. Stick with me here. Right here, brother. When they ask, right here. When asked right here. A brief conversation.
It says a brief conversation then ensued.
Brief conversation then ensued. Read.
In their common ancestral tongue.
In their common ancestral tongue.
According to Montezinos, whose fluency in it is almost as perplexing to the reader of his narrative as is that of his three mysterious new companions.
Read.
They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben.
They said they were from the tribe of where?
From the tribe or of the tribe of Reuben.
They said they were of the tribe of Reuben, because we know there's also Reuben in Florida. All right? There's Reuben in Florida, as well as the Aborigines of Australia. Read.
And that the tribe of Joseph.
The tribe of Joseph, which is the Balikwa Taino Indians, the Puerto Ricans. Read.
Lived on an island nearby.
Lived on an island nearby. So how did Ephraim get on an island nearby? How did Reuben know where his brothers were? How did they know? If they didn't come over the waters according to prophecy. So listen, this is archaeology records. All in here is references. All in the back of this book is references of how the proof of how they have hid the fact that the Indian tribes were conquered. The lost tribes of Israel were conquered by Europeans in the New World. North, Central, South America, all the way to the Pacifics. Okay? Let me see if I can get this one thing before we go. One moment. Lost Tribes in the Promised Land by Ronald Sanders. For those who may ask the question here. Esdras here, right? Where you say Esdras at? There you go. 77, 94. Hold up now. 77. In the marginal notes of Columbus' copy of the Ali.
It says, in the marginal notes, this is page 77.
Page 77. They get page 94. Read.
In the marginal notes to Columbus's copy of D.Ali.
Go ahead.
Is a relatively lengthy discourse on 2nd Esdras 6 and 42, which reads.
Which reads.
Upon the third day thou didst command that the waters should be gathered up in the 7th part of the earth.
Go ahead.
6 parts thou hast dried up and kept them, to the intent that these some being planted of God and tilled might serve thee. This was often cited by Columbus, who argued that since only 1/7 of the world was water, a good deal more dry land than yet was now renamed to be discovered overseas. So
what was he showing? He was showing there was uninhabited land. Land that the Europeans did not conquer as of yet. So why did you think the Queen gave them ships and merchants and money, gave them money to get there? Okay, so they can conquer more land and add to the wealth of Europe. They didn't give Christopher Columbus money just to prove that the world was round. Are you kidding me? He showed them another land flowing with milk and honey. He told them that it was written of in scriptures. See, they will never teach this in the colleges because now this brings validity to the Bible. And it identifies the lost tribes of Israel. So they'll never go into this. Why Christopher Columbus, or what was the basis of Christopher Columbus's travels. All right?
Mm-hmm. Another thing is he used the same exact apocrypha that they tell you in universities and colleges and theologian seminary colleges that is a false record.
He used this book right here, the same book that the Christian church tell you you're not supposed to go into.
Mm-hmm.
There's more. I got one more that I'll answer some questions here. I think this is it here. All right. Address. Read right here, during the next 5 years after his release, talking about Louis. Read that.
It says, during the next 5 years after his release, Louis carried out the orders of the Inquisition by teaching at a school for Indians. Like so many heretical Christians, he was an ardent reader of the book of Esdras. Read. And one therefore can legitimately wonder whether he saw the Indians as the lost tribes of Israel.
Read it again.
It says, he was an ardent reader of the book of Esdras.
Read.
And one therefore can legitimately wonder whether he saw the Indians as the lost tribes of Israel.
So you had European teachers in the book of Esdras teaching, even though the Christian church called it heretical. Why? Mm-hmm. Because when they read it, they were relating the Indian tribes in America to the lost tribes of Israel. And that's why it's heretical teaching today. That's why they won't allow you to read it in your Christian churches. Because it's a historical book. When it speaks of Maccabees and all that, those are historical events that have happened within the earth. So when you look at the Bible from a historical standpoint, especially Esdras, it identifies the lost tribes of Israel that went into Arzareth, which is the new land. Which is the land the Europeans named America. So when the Europeans came over and took the land, that fulfilled the prophecy in Deuteronomy 28, where it says, he shall send a people against you as quick as the eagle flieth. It's speaking of a future prophecy of the Romans coming over the waters, the Roman Catholic Church, and conquering the children of Israel. Talking about the North American Indians, the Baliqua Taino Indians. There's another book that shows you how they killed 500,000 Baliqua Taino Puerto Ricans. 500,000 man-child they killed in Puerto Rico before they set up their Catholic satanic worship. They did the same program throughout all of the Americas until we finally got there in the 1600s, where we would meet our brothers in slavery over in the New World. So amongst us, we're not dealing with any doctrine outside of the truth concerning all the tribes. And you will never hear none of our church ever teaching that something is just of Negroid features. That's minimizing the truth concerning the Most High. That's minimizing the full work of the Most High. All right? That's totally minimizing the